Hey everybody, my name is Francois and welcome back to my channel, Mr. Francy Reads. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to be going through my December TBR, talking I probably have too many, but all the books that I would like to get to during the month of December. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, so I'll see how I go, but I will definitely at least get through my buddy reads. So for those of you who were wondering what my buddy reads are going to be, they will pop up in this video as well. So the first book that I plan to read is a buddy read, and that is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is an adult thriller, and I was quite surprised that it was chosen for a buddy read for December, considering the theme of December is usually celebrating the holiday, and this is anything but. It's a thriller, but you know, I think that's also great. I look forward to reading it with you guys. So if you are not part of the Discord, the link to that is in the description below. Come along and join us for it. I don't think I'm going to spend any time going over premises or anything like that because we will run out of time. But here is the cover. Feel free to look that up on Goodreads. I'm excited to get to this one. It's going to be interesting to read a thriller right away at the start of December. So the second book that I plan to get to in the month of December is a reread and a last-minute swap-out. Originally I planned to read Prince's Gambit, which is book number 2 in the Prince's Captive Prince series. I started this last year, planned to read it, book number 2 this month, and then decided, you know what, I'm just going to shelve this and I'll read it next year because I've been craving a reread of this book. And if I love it, I will keep the reread of the series going. And that is a series that I only found out about last year and I fell in love with. It is The Selection by Kiera Cass. And if there's anyone out there watching this going, oh my gosh, The Selection, thank you, because that's how I feel. I'm so happy to finally get back to this world. This is a YA dystopian. Think The Bachelor set in a Royal Kingdom castle with a lot of action-packed scenes that go on as well, because there's a lot of war that's going on in this dystopian world. I love this series so much. And I miss book 1 so much that, sorry, C.S. Picard, but Kiera Cass, I'm reading this. The third book that I plan to read in the month of December is this book, The Chance to Fly by Ali Stroker and Stacey Davidowitz. This is a middle grade contemporary, and this is the second buddy read that we are doing over on my Discord. I'm really excited about this. We have a girl there on the cover who's in a wheelchair who is doing everything she can to not let that stop her from achieving her goals. That just has me so excited, and you guys have been talking to me about this on the Discord. I know you guys are excited as well, so I can't wait to go into this one. I found out about this book thanks to Jessica from Lady Lovestead Reads, who read it I think a couple of months ago, and she absolutely loved it. And when I found out it had disability representation, I was like, that's it, I gotta read it. So I'm excited. The next book that I plan to read in the month of December is my third and final Mr. Francy Reads buddy read of the month, and that will be this book, The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. So this book kind of follows on from Charles Dickens' classic, A Christmas Carol. For those of you who don't know, Charles Dickens' classic revolves around a man by the name of Ebenezer Scrooge who walks around with the words "bah humbug" on his lips. He is visited by 3 ghosts, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, all in the space of one night to try and change his life from the greedy man he was to becoming a very selfless being. And he does that. Apparently, our character in this book, Holly Chase, had the same experience. She did not turn her life around. Then she died and was recruited to become one of those ghosts. And we get to read this book from her perspective, being one of the ghosts. That has me so excited, and I'm so happy you guys are joining me for a holiday read, so can't wait to get to it. The next book that I plan to get to is this book, Letta Blake's Mr. Frosty Pants. Judging by how everything looks like the font and stuff inside, I do believe this is a self-pub. It is an adult LGBTIQ plus Christmas-themed book. And again, shout out to 2 guys kissing on a cover, because how often do I see that? Like, it just doesn't happen often enough. So, woo. I am so happy to be reading this. I'm so happy to be reading a male Christmas romance in December. I'm just so excited. If you want to join me for this, let me know. But Woo! The next book that I plan to read is this book, Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohen and David Levithan. Okay, so recently I spoke about this book and I said Recently I spoke about this book and I called the second author David Leviathan and I got that so wrong. So I'm so sorry that I butchered his name. It's David Levithan. And I'm really excited to read this one. All I know is that the book opens up with Dash, with Dash finding a book somewhere in a library that has all these dares, and if he wants to do them, he can continue to read the book and fulfill the dares. Along the way, he meets Lily, it becomes a romance. I love games within movies or books or whatever, and this promises to be exactly that. The next book that I plan to read is a buddy read that I'm going to be doing for the Mum and Me buddy read. Mum and I are going to read this together. Mum's already read hers, so I need to catch up. That is Debbie Macomber's Dashing Through the Snow. This is an adult romance, and I'm excited to get to it. When my mum told me about Debbie Macomber and I told her that I didn't know who that was, she did the whole, gasp, how do you not know who this is? kind of reaction. And I was like, well, Mum, since starting my booktube channel, I haven't read a lot of straight romance books, so I don't know a lot of straight romance authors. But I am excited to read this. I want to read holiday reads. So we'll see how we go. The next book that I'm going to be reading is also by Debbie Macomber. I don't have a copy of this book, so I'll put it up on the screen. And that is this book, Dear Santa, also by Debbie Macomber. And this is another adult Christmassy romance. So this is really interesting. My mum planned on reading this and I was up in the air about whether or not I want to add it to my already full TBR. And then I was talking to Stormy from Storm Reads, who said she was going to buddy read this. So I'm on board, reading it with my mum and with Stormy, and I'm excited to get to it. My mum has already read this one, and my mum thought that Dashing Through the Snow, yes, Dashing Through the Snow, I've got to be careful because I have another book that sounds similar to that, was okay, but she loved Dear Santa, so I'm really excited to get onto that one. And if you'd like to join Stormy and myself, then come along to my Discord and her Discord and join us, because we're looking forward to it. Santa Claus is coming. Okay, the next book that I plan to get to in the month of December is my second Mum and Me buddy read. My mum has not read this one yet, so yay. And that book is this book, which is called Timepiece by Richard Paul Evans. This is book 2 in the Christmas Box series. So for those of you who don't know, the Christmas Box is a book that I read last year. The Christmas Box is a book that I read last year. This is a Christian fiction book. In saying that, it is not dominantly Christian. It's just there is little mentions here and there about God and Jesus, but it's very, very, very small. I'm not someone who reads heavy Christian books, and that's just because I haven't. I would have no objection to doing that. But I saw the film adaptation of this for the first time, I think when I was 7 years old, and I fell in love with it. It became a classic for me, but I've never read the book. Read it last year, loved it, want to continue on with the series. Book 2 is Timepiece, so I'm incredibly excited to get to it. The main character in the film adaptation of this book, so who is Richard Thomas, I have to think there, Richard Thomas, who plays Richard Evans, and the book is by Richard Paul Evans, anyway, Richard Thomas audio narrates this book and this one and the third one in the series, so I'm excited about that. Timepiece, book number 2, very excited. But wait, there's still more. The next book that I plan to get to in this really crazy amount of books on my TBR is my Sanderson read of December. So by the time we get into December, I am hoping to be completely up to date with all the books in the Cosmere universe. So I'm moving on to Sanderson's next series, which is a middle grade series. And this is book 1 in that series. It is called Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. I am so excited to read a Brandon Sanderson intentionally written middle grade. I am loving this, and the fact that it is Alcatraz and the Evil Librarians has me even more excited, so I am going to try and get through this series not only in December, but continue on throughout the course of 2022, so I'm excited to get this one. But we'll see how we go. If I don't make it to this book, then that's fine. I don't want to put pressure on myself. I can just move it over to January and that will be fine. The next book that I plan to read, the next book that I plan to read is this book, Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon Maguire. This is book number 1 in the Wayward Children series. So this month, I haven't gotten to it yet, but this month at some point, I'm going to be reading Down Amongst the Sticks and Bones, which is book number 2 in this series. And unlike normally I'm a series purist and will read in order, but I have been heavily advised to read book 2 first because book 1 spoils book 2. So, book 1 in this series I'm reading this month in November, and then next month in December I read book 1, and then in January we move forward with book 3 and so on and so forth. I'm excited to get to this book. I'm also excited to get to book 2. So, the basic premise, all I can tell you is that it's about children who find hidden doorways to different worlds. That has me excited. I've been waiting 2 years to get into the Wayward Children series, so I'm excited. But wait, there's still more. The next book that I plan to read in the month of December is my classic book of the month, which will be this book, The Wind in the Willows. Sorry about the glare. I'm really sorry about the glare. The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I'm so excited to get to this. I have read this book maybe 5 times in my life, and I love this book. I love the mole and the rat and the badger. I even love the toad. If you've read this before, you know what I'm referring to. If you haven't, it's basically a book that follows animals who go on adventures, basically. It's really cute. It's really sweet. It's perfect for December. And the final book, yes, this is the last one that I plan on getting to in the month of December, is this book, Field's Gate. Oh my goodness me. Field's Gate by Aaron Lynch. This is an adult fantasy book. It is a novella, so it's 54 pages long, which is great. From all I know about it is we follow a character who goes into a... whatever the word is. Into a thing. We follow a character who goes into a thing that's not a maze. I don't remember what it's called. I've been able to say it all this time, and I don't remember what it is now, but the one that's not a maze, that, you know, just goes in and in like a spiral, whatever you call that. We follow a character who goes through not a maze, whatever you call the other one, and she comes across a lot of creatures along the way. It kind of, in a way, reminds me of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the final task. We'll see how we go. I'm excited. I've been wanting to read this one for at least a year, so I'm excited to get to it. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more book. I mean, it's nuts. Am I going to read a book every day? I mean, really. But this is a buddy read, and all of my buddy reads I'm absolutely committed to. It's the others that we see how we go. I am buddy reading a book with Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm, and that is this book, Slashing Through the Snow by Jacqueline Frost. This is book number 3 in the Christmas Tree Farm Cozy Mystery series. It's an adult cozy mystery, and I read books 1 and 2 this month in November. I love this world. I love this town. They are obsessed with Christmas, but in the best way. If you want to get in the Christmas mood, read one of the Christmas Tree Farm books, because they're just so Christmas, Christmas, Christmas that I've been singing carols in November, all because of Jacqueline Frost. All because of Jacqueline Frost. So, yeah, Tiffany over at the Beach Bum Bookworm is doing this as a buddy read. She's starting it very late in November, November 30, so it should carry over into the first week of December, which is why I'm including it here, but I'm looking forward to getting to that. Okay, that is the last book. And now for everyone's favourite game that we like to call hashtag up these are the books that I have on me that I plan to read for the month of December. Which books do you plan to read in the month of December, and which ones are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Please be kind and love one another. And in the meantime, thank you for all your love and support and comments and likes and subscribing to the channel. You guys have shown me so much love, and I really appreciate it, because I do want this channel to be about all the love. So I'm reciprocating that back to all of you in kind. So thank you very much. And I'll see you again soon. Happy reading!